Here's a sneak peek at the newest Creature Caster model.
Spiky bits.
Well, at least I hope it's a sneak peek. Welcome back, Hobby Maniacs. I'm Baer from SpikyBits.com, and we've got the newest, latest, and greatest creation from Creature Caster. This is the Drakon, and guess what? It's not a demon. So they're kind of starting to take this bold move away from their whole demon lineup that we saw with the Lord of Sorrows, and now we're seeing it with the Drakon, which is a larger miniature. I think it's about the size of the kings and the queens models that they've put out. Now, I got this from them at Adepticon, so I don't have a lot to go on. I just have a couple of notes I scratched down. It's not even on their website, so we're gonna try to get through this together. And I think there was a little problem with the base, but I told them no problem, I can trouble it out. So real quick, let's show you their website. So by the time you do see this video, it'll be up over there and you'll know where to look. So creaturecaster.com is where you want to go to check out the latest and greatest on all of their available miniatures, but sometimes you can also sneak in here and see stuff that isn't quite ready for sale on their website. So click whatever country you might be in. I click the US right there, and you don't have to worry about there's no arbitrage or any additional fees for anything you buy, just quicker shipping times, whether you're in the US, UK, or Europe, or also Canada land, our friendly upstairs neighbors in Canada, where actually Creature Caster is based. So you can get into the store right here, which is super easy, and then they've got all the paints and hobby supplies on the monument side of things. But we're not going to do that. We're going to go into the community tab right here and show you some of the secret stuff that you can kind of keep an eye on things. So here's some of the stuff they take off of folks' Instagrams, that shares with them, and different things. And you can see here, I think this was Jason actually working on this at Adepticon. Here is a sneak preview of the Drakon. So this is what he's going to look like. Nice big dragon man. A little lizard thing happening here, kind of chaos dwarfy, but kind of not, I guess. I don't really know what to make of it, but it's very ambitious and very cool looking. So, and it's got lots of good detail, just judging from the picture. Now, my notes say a couple of different things. Now, you can also see you can catch up with their stuff, their official notifications on the blog right here too. Don't be scared to click that button, because sometimes they'll have some artwork and things that are coming out, or they'll do some community spotlights. But either way, you know, these are some really cool places just to visit. Even if you're not in the mood to buy anything, you can always find out a little bit more about what might be coming soon from Creature Caster. Now, real quick, before we look, well, I'm going to dump the parts out here, because there's a lot of parts. This is a rather large envelope. This is a number, what do they call this? A number 2 envelope. So it's got a lot of stuff, got a lot of parts in there. Those are rather large parts, as you can see, judging from that picture I just showed you. This model is going to be probably pretty big. I mean, the blade right there itself is 3 inches, so I can only imagine once you get it attached to the shaft what this is going to end up being size-wise. So the price, I am told, is going to be $109 US. It's going to have a 100 mil base, which you can see right here. Boom. And it will have an alternate head, weapons, and wings. Supposedly, it's 18 centimeters tall as well. So, I don't know what that equals out to in the metrics, but we're about to lay these all out, show you the parts, and then get it assembled and come on back. Okay, I think I might have cracked the code here, laying it all out as you can see before you. It is a very large array of parts right here. I mean, these are my hands. My hands are ridiculously oversized, believe it or not. I know you can't tell from the video, but this is a lot of parts, and there is a lot of cool stuff here. So from what I can see, it all looks really well detailed. I love the little kind of lizard scale work and stuff. Let's try to get some light on this right there. You can see all of it. And then there isn't a flat detail or anything down in here. There's a lot of like leathery skin and such. You know, sometimes when you see models like this, they just kind of phone it in, but all of it is right there. You got the ginormous WWE Dragon Championship belt right there. So that's going to go on the front somehow. Now, from what I can tell, and this is going to take a little bit long because I don't have a lot of good reference pictures, is this looks to go here, and this starts to form the Dragon Man, and then the dragon body goes up here like the centaur. It kind of looks like Jabba the Hutt right now, but trust me, it'll get there. And then the legs go right here, and the legs are going to attach to this base. is what I'm seeing, so I'm liking it so far. Now for wings, it looks like there's a couple different variants. So these slots right here, you will be able to kind of either put in these, which, yeah, like that, right? And then the other piece right there that you can see will go right on this, is what kind of what it looks like. Or if you don't want a winged dragon man, you can put the little plugs in right there, which I thought was kind of, can I put this light over here? Let's put this, let's get a little closer. There we go. So now you can start to see all the detail. Look at all that gorgeous detail down in there. Okay, so there's that, and then we've got two different head options here. So we hadn't seen this one, which kind of reminds me of like Wolverine meets a demon, which I thought was pretty neat. And then you've got this one right here, which is definitely some sort of evil knight Drakon. Every time I hear Drakon, I think of Drakon Blackblade from Legends, Magic the Gathering, but maybe that's not that. I don't know. I don't know where these go yet. Maybe on the feet. Oh yeah, right here. There's the big Velociraptor toe. That's kind of cool. And what else? These are his 4 arms or 4 legs. And it looks like there's different weapon options for the tip of the spear. And actually, I forgot to see what. So this goes like this, right? I don't know which way. Well, we'll figure it out. So that goes there. But what goes underneath it? There should be some little. Oh, okay. So it's a choice of these, I bet. Yeah. So there's your bottom of the spear tip. So this is really cool. There's a lot of neat little options. It's a cool just little fantasy bust, but you could use it as, you know, like Crazy Dragon for whatever, Shoggoth, I don't know. But it's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of potential and a lot of interchangeable parts, and I like it so far. Like I said, large scale. This is going to take a hot minute to trim up and get put together, but we're going to jump on that right now. So here he is, and he's a beast, as we suspected. This guy is, I think, easily, let's see, it was 18 centimeters, which was 180 millimeters. I don't know why I just didn't do math in my head, which is almost 8 inches from, well, we don't have the spear on there. So it will be about 7.5 with the spear, depending on which one you put on there. So there he is. Now, some things to note. We've got some parts to show you still, too. You're going to see gaps, like, they're there. They're cleverly hidden, just like Games Workshop can hide them in the seams and stuff. But remember, this is a kind of test cast, like I don't want to say prototype, but I want to say it's one of the first casts. As a matter of fact, they warned me that we would have to shave off parts of the base because the something to do with the design didn't get, these bases had to be redone, and they were going to redo them for the actual release. So we had to plane this whole section right here, but you're going to see a lot of gaps on here, more than most creature caster miniatures that we've shown you here. And I don't know whether that's because it's so fresh, hot off the press. You know, they only had a couple of copies of these. They're letting people paint on them at Adepticon. But as I always say, use Vallejo plastic pipe. Stuff is literally magic. You just squeeze a little bit out on whatever gap. And I'm not going to show you today because it's going to make a bunch of mess, and really just kind of just want to show you the review itself. But just put a little bit into here, squeeze it out. It's like, you know, it's a toothpaste tube. And then just take a buster brush and get a little water on it, and you can kind of work it in there. Give it about 3 to 4 hours. It'll dry. And if you use the water to kind of pull off or whisk away the, you know, the I don't want to say overspray, but the excess material, you'll be able to kind of keep this detail and not have to scrape away and do a whole bunch of extra work on the areas that the gap filler isn't going to go into. This stuff is great. It's amazing. It'll change your life when you're working with resin miniatures, whether it's creature caster stuff or forge-rolled stuff right there. Something else I really like about this miniature, and we showed you at the beginning there, was these little plugs on the back, and it's really gorgeous. Like, just the fact that they've got this much detail, and if you don't want to give them wings, which you don't have to, those little plugs go in there, and then, you know, you don't have any wings on the back, and he just looks like a normal dragon or whatever, dragon man. And if you want, and then you probably have to use a little bit of gap filler. Like I said, there's a little bit of gap filling to be done. Here I really like the design of the wings all around down in these slots right here, because they really did a good job kind of trying to hide the seams and the gaps, because this part would be really hard to cast. like this and then this, it'd be very hard to cast. But look at all the detail work in there. And again, it's a little shiny because we actually didn't wash this. So always wash your resin miniatures with a little bit of dishwasher detergent and toothbrush, scrub them away, because that's actually mold release. But you can see all the detail. It isn't just plain in there. They didn't just phone it in. We've got all these little winglet rings or piercings, I guess, and then down, when you get down to this area right here, there's a lot more detail. So this thing is just full of detail. And then when it comes to the heads, we showed you the 2 head options. Now I went with the one that they're traditionally, I think, using on a lot of their promo pictures, but this guy's kind of cool and very Wolverine, kind of meets a satyr, meets a dragon man kind of esque head right there, which I really kind of dig. Yeah, I can definitely see a little bit of Wolverine in that one. And then here, you can, if you want to do like the axe head, which is gorgeous. I mean, just look at all that detail. Like the doors would be super jealous of this. You could do the axe head, and then there's a little bottom piece, little bottom spears that I showed you, depending on which one you want to do. And you could do that, and he looks very dynamic and very striking. Or you can do the spear, and you could do the spear either, the glaive or whatever this thing is, or you could do it down here like he's getting ready to impale somebody, and then put the little end piece right up here like this, right? So it's got a lot of posability. It's crazy how modular this one miniature can actually be. And then once you get the wings in here, remember there's gonna be some gaps on here. I'm a little embarrassed about the gaps. Normally I would, I'd fill something like that. We just don't have a whole lot of time to do that in these reviews, to produce these in a timely manner for you guys. But it's very easy to fix, like I showed you with the Vallejo plastic putty. That stuff's literally magic when it comes to this. But look at these wings. They actually are so big, they make it look like this model could actually achieve flight. Like they would support his girth along with his width right there. So let's see, can we do this? Can we make it? Normally I'd blue tack these in, but I'm not sure. He's just a really cool model, just in general. And I like how they're getting more ambitious and they're getting away from their demony roots, but they're still kind of keeping with that chaos feel. Now granted, going forward, I'd really like to see, there you go. So something like that right there. It's just a really cool miniature. It's very fantasy. Could use it for a lot of different things out there, for a lot of different game systems, or just a nice neat little piece just to paint up. I mean, all of the lizard skin, the leathered skin. I mean, you could do this bronze. You could do this with like some purples, on all the armor. There's just so much room to do so many different things and different looks to it. And then you've got all the skulls in here to keep it, kind of keep it real with the palette, whatever you want to do. You could do dark bone here, bony spikes, or you could just kind of ignore them and just keep them like the green, or you could do gray. Lizards there's so many different ways you can go with it. It's just really cool. And this is kind of I'm not super on the artsy side myself, but I could really see where a lot of people would be very interested in this model from both a tabletop play, and also kind of a fantasy-esque kind of perspective. This is all that fantasy art we saw in the 80s, all the different artists out there, that some of us grew up with. It's kind of like a reimagination of that. So it's a really neat piece. Again, it's not quite out yet. Hopefully by the time this video comes out, it will be up for pre-order. I believe they said it was going to be $109. It's the Drakon. It's a very large model. So very cool indeed. 109 models for this definitely very boutique chunk of resin. I think is more than fair than some of the other resin makers out there. So that is it for this one. Thanks for listening to me drone on about the 80s, dragons, and colors. It's a neat model. Go by creaturecaster.com. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on notifications so you can be the very first to like and comment on all our videos.